Libra. You are ready to remove all barriers between yourself and happiness. The theme of your reading today is number 43, manage to be glad. Create your own happiness regardless of conditions. And at the bottom of the deck is number 27, painting the roses red, covering up errors. There's this kind of opening that's happening in your energy. I feel like you are waking up to the ways in which you have been putting off or avoiding happiness, or telling yourself the story that I can't be happy until X. So maybe you've been waiting until you are this perfect, ideal version of yourself to be happy. Or maybe you've been waiting until you manifest this big thing, or your life looks a very particular way. You've been waiting, in some ways putting off happiness until fill in the blank with ideal, perfect, whatever you desire, right? This is one of the biggest awakenings I think a person can have. That's certainly the case for me. When you realize that you've been waiting to be happy, and the key to turning your life around is choosing happiness now, regardless of conditions, just like the card says, everything changes. Your whole life changes. Now, this is a highly nuanced conversation, and it can definitely be misunderstood and trigger the heck out of some people, because it sounds almost like we're creeping into the territory of bypassing your negative emotions, right? Like toxic positivity. Just be happy now and then everything is perfect. That's definitely not the message. That's definitely not a healthy way to be. The message here, I feel, is simply notice the difference between choosing to honor your pain, choosing to honor however you feel, good or bad, versus resisting happiness. They're completely different things. Part of choosing happiness can actually look like choosing to feel your pain. Okay? So, in what ways have you been waiting to be happy? This is what Spirit wants you to think about. There's no such thing as perfect, right? You know that. So if we will never be perfect as human beings, if we will always be evolving and expanding and becoming better and better, more authentic, more empowered versions of ourselves, then if we're waiting until we're perfect to be happy, we're never going to be happy, right? Same goes for the external. If you're telling yourself, oh, I can't wait until, I can buy a home. Until that day comes, I'm just going to be suffering here in this apartment, right? Putting off happiness, putting off happiness, putting off happiness. Let's go into tarot here. I'm using the Rider-Waite-Smith classic borderless Rider-Waite-Smith for you. All right, where do we go from here, Spirit? Show me Libra's general energy. I love the expression in the painting the roses red card. There's a little bit of frustration here, I feel. Healthy, empowering frustration or anger. You really don't want to put off happiness anymore, but you might be feeling like it's hard, or it's a stretch, or it's a reach to feel happiness given your circumstances. That's for some of you. If that is the case, I would just invite you to think about it like this. You're not forcing yourself to feel happy when you don't. You're alchemizing your resistance to happiness. You're not meant to feel happy 24/7, 365. That's insane. That means you're a robot. You're not a human, right? That's not what this is about. I just really want to make this clear. I hope this makes sense. You're alchemizing resistance to happiness, not forcing yourself to feel happy. Show me Libra. Judgment. Oh yeah. I'm just hearing wake-up call. Big, big wake-up call. Like an aha moment or an epiphany. This is that opening I was feeling in your energy. You're integrating a higher perspective, a bigger perspective. So often we only think about resisting emotions in terms of negative emotions. Like, I struggle to express my anger. I struggle to express my sadness. I've been bottling up this overwhelm or whatever. It's always like the negative emotions that we think we suppress. But you can suppress joy. Oh my gosh, no. You can suppress joy and happiness. Clarify the Judgment card. The question is arising. This is a journal prompt in my journal prompt deck. Are you good enough for you? Are you good enough for you? The Hierophant, clarifying judgment. Wow, this is a lot of spiritual energy. This is a spiritual awakening. You're literally having some kind of spiritual awakening here. Maybe you're realizing your own power, your spiritual or energetic power. Give me 1 second to just feel into this here. Well, it's almost like you're realizing that you have access to all things at all times. You have access to all energies, including emotions. You have intuitive, spiritual access to whatever energy you want to tap into at any given moment. It's so interesting because, the Hierophant, in more of its shadow state, sometimes is associated with a middleman between yourself and spirit, right? He's almost like a gatekeeper when he's in shadow. He's like, no, only I can talk to spirit. You have to come through me to get to spirit, right? But this is breaking down those barriers. This is realizing your own spiritual authority. There is no barrier. There is no block between you and whatever energy you want to access. Wow. So what's the challenge that Libra is facing? I just saw 9 on the timer. 9 minutes exactly. So the number 9 feels significant. I'm also getting the color turquoise. What's the challenge that Libra is facing, Spirit? That's a challenge. 9 of Swords. Clarify the 9 of Swords. This is just anxiety. Guilt or regret about the past, or fear about the future. Maybe both. Clarify the 9 of Swords. Death. It's very, very easy to fall into the trap of thinking that anxiety serves us. In a way, it does, or it wouldn't exist. We don't feel things for no reason. But there's normal, manageable anxiety, and then there's chronic anxiety. There's the belief that I have to be anxious all the time in order to create what I want and therefore ultimately someday be happy. This is like the belief that in order to get to happiness, I need to be anxious first, rather than just being happy. Believing that you have to be anxious in order to create happiness is this limiting belief. It's kind of like a loop, right? A self-feeding loop. This is what Spirit is saying needs to be transformed, released, alchemized, let go. I'm hearing you say, I'm tired of feeling tired. I'm sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. It's not, it's getting me nowhere fast. And again, sometimes anxiety can serve a purpose, obviously. Feeling a little bit anxious, also, it's very close to feeling excitement. The two are, register very closely in the system. But this is, again, chronic. This feels like chronic anxiety. So tell me a little bit more about this Nine of Swords. I just want to clarify, obviously with death here, this is what Spirit is saying. The challenge is for you to release this belief that you have to be anxious to be happy. Let's clarify the Nine of Swords more specifically, though. Oh, Ace of Cups. Well, the first thing... Okay, the first thing that came to me was something about protecting your heart. Feeling like you need to protect your heart. And in order to protect your heart, your essence, yourself, your vulnerability, you have to kind of be on high alert all the time. You have to be anxious and tense all the time in order to protect yourself. But then living that way or feeling that way actually puts a cage around your own heart, and then you start to lose access to it over time as well. What's the advice here, Spirit? What's the advice for Libra? Four of Cups. Just give me 1 second. This almost feels like a clearing of other people's emotions from your system in order to come closer to how you're actually feeling. And even if how you're actually feeling is sad or upset or angry, just coming closer to that truth in your heart is a form of choosing happiness. So saying no to other people's energies or emotions, not allowing yourself to get lost in other people's stuff. Maybe you'll find that when you clear your energy of everything that is inauthentic old, stuck, foreign, inauthentic energy, right? Just clear your whole aura out. You might find underneath all of these emotions that were other people's, you're actually pretty happy. You might find that. So I would invite you to do that for sure. Do a energy work on yourself. You can do a guided meditation or just a meditation, on yourself in silence, where you're just visualizing releasing all foreign, inauthentic, old energy from your body and your being. Send it down a grounding cord, however you clear your energy. Release everything that isn't yours and see what's left. See what is actually yours. Another really, really good practice that I love is throughout the day, whenever I'm feeling a particular heightened emotion, I will ask myself, how much of this is mine? And then just intuitively tune in. Whatever the number is, percentage that comes to you is probably correct, right? And then anything that is not mine, I release or send into a bubble outside of me. And then I put that bubble either, again, down a grounding cord into the center of the earth. I return it to sender. I send it to my guides. I release it with love to be alchemized. That way I'm sitting with and processing only what is truly mine to process. And I'm telling you, most of the time when I'm feeling negative and I ask how much of this is mine, it's like most, if not all, is not mine. Let's clarify this Four of Cups. Knight of Cups. There it is. So beautiful. This is in direct response to what I was saying with the Nine of Swords and the Ace of Cups. It's almost like protecting your heart has turned into a cage around your heart, and now maybe you don't even feel like you have access to it on some level. The Knight of Cups is literally about leading with your heart, being, oh my gosh, so vulnerable, which is supreme strength, and leading with that vulnerability, wearing your heart on your sleeve. That doesn't mean you're not protected. That doesn't mean you're not protected. Actually being really authentic and grounded in your truth and your emotions only, that's a natural form of protection. I love how these two go together. It's like you're saying no to the cup in the Four of Cups. No, thank you. I'm not going to take your stuff on. I've got my own cup. I've got my own emotions. I've got my own truth here. What's at the bottom of the deck? Four of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. There's that protective energy again. So much tension, so much anxiety. Again, I'm just getting this, the message that's coming through is holding off. It's like you're frozen and you're just poised and you're waiting until either you're perfect or something's different in order to just be happy and enjoy your life. Wow. Okay. Yeah, let's get a journal prompt for you from my deck. Journal prompt for Libra. Okay, number 78. What is your favorite quote and why? This is a fun one. I don't think I've pulled this one on camera before. What's your favorite quote? Oh my gosh, there's so many good ones. There's so many. But I'm sure you probably have multiple, as I do too. But just pick one of your top three, maybe, and explore what it means about you that that's your favorite quote. One of my favorites is it's easy to be brave from a distance. So to me, that tells me I really value courage and bravery, which I do. I always have. All right, so answer that question for yourself and see where it takes you. That's a fun little rabbit hole to go down. Let's get a closing message from Anatomy of a Witch Oracle. Closing message for Libra. I'm seeing a rabbit and the color gold. I'm actually seeing gold on the rabbit, like, I don't know, a little like sparkly gemstones, almost like the rabbit's wearing jewelry. Huh. Smell. Oh my gosh, I saw this card in my mind's eye this morning. I saw it. I knew it. I knew it. All right, smell. Interesting. I was going to say, slow down and smell the roses, right? Enjoy the journey of life. Don't wait to enjoy it until, going back to painting the roses red. You're ready to stop painting the roses red and smell them or enjoy them as they are instead. Smell is also tied intimately to memory. Let's see what the guidebook says. It might help you to work with certain smells in order to feel more grounded and relaxed and happy. Okay. Two beautiful glass Egyptian perfume bottles stand surrounded by jasmine blossoms, while a nearby brass incense holder releases swirling waves of smoke. Our sense of smell is deeply linked to memory. This connection likely evolved from our early survival instincts, our need to be able to detect danger from predatory animals, bad food, or shifting weather, as well as remember what foods are good and what places are safe. Scent also plays a huge role in attraction, who we are drawn to or repulsed by, all through the power of our noses. With the combined powers of earth, fire, and air, we use smoke to cleanse as well as perfume spaces, and also to communicate with spirits, deities, and ancestors. Scent can have an impact on your state of mind. Applying a familiar scent to your body can bring comfort. Burning certain kinds of incense can lift your spirits, and getting some fresh air, regardless of temperature outside, can awaken your mind. Make note of which smells empower and inspire you so that you can tap into these energies for ritual. That brings me all the way back to the Hierophant. You have access to whatever energies you want to tap into at any time, right? When you don't resist them, when you're not in resistance to them, right? Okay. There's a lot here. So take what resonates, leave the rest. There's something else I was going to say here. Oh, they're back to detecting danger from predatory animals or bad food, etc. Going back to, trying to protect your heart, but it's actually caging your heart. There's something there about that. And memory. Wow, there's a lot of different directions I could take that, but I'll leave it up to you to reflect on that and how it relates to your life. All right, Libra, thank you for letting me read for you. I hope this was helpful or at least thought-provoking. I just saw 24 on the timer. Leave any questions or comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, I'll be putting this journal prompt in the description box along with several others. Be sure to check them out. I always really put effort into the journal prompts and the description of the video that I leave because I really, really value inspiring introspection. So be sure to check those prompts out. and I appreciate you. Thank you for being here with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.